Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's the man again, Walker, Walker's Waves, Walker's Way Weight Training. Today, I'm coming at y'all with a video about what to do with expired fruit. Like, you know, we have fruit like this up in the refrigerator, like that. A banana going bad, you want to throw it away? No, don't do that. That's like a free ass curl kit for your hair. Might as well use it, put it in your hair since you didn't want to eat it. And this is how. What you want to do is that you want to find you an empty jar container, wooden stick preferably, to mix it up in. You want to go ahead and get that, get you some oil. I prefer cocoa butter, but it doesn't really matter what type of oil you use. You can use anything, hair food, just anything with some oil in it, something. You want to mix the oil with the banana. That way it goes into your hair easier. Now you kind of want to do this before doing any kind of physical activity, to where you're going to have your wave cap on for a few hours. This way the nutrients and the potassium will be able to be absorbed into the scalp without having to heat up your hair pores. You know, since it's kind of hot in summer days, you know, your hair is going to get up to temperature enough if you keep it ragged up, especially if you're doing something physical like working out, or, you know, just keeping a hat on for a couple of hours. So this is really going to enhance the products that you put in your hair. So when we choose natural products like fruit and oil, this is essentially going to help out our hair while not brushing it. So when we take off our wave cap later on today, or after we finish our physical activity, we will reveal new healthy strands of hair. Now, this should give off a strong little odor. Kind of smells good. You know it's ready to be put in your hair when it's all smashed up. Okay, if you can still see some clumps up in there, okay, just keep on mixing it. You know, you can add a little bit more oil to it, you know, if you think it's not dissolving enough. You know, it's no big deal. You don't want it too oily. Okay? You just want enough to where, you know, it's going to get in between your hair while combing it in. And other people, you know, you can put this in blenders and stuff like that too. It just don't make no deal. Just, you know, put a little elbow grease with it. It'll mix on in there. Okay, now what color we're looking for? We're looking for like a black grayish color. That's what you want right there. Okay, I want to make sure that gets mixed in really, really good. Now, first thing that you're going to do is that you're not just going to put this up on your hair like this, okay? First thing that I want you to do is that I want you to take the comb, and we're going to go against the grain, okay? So we're going to pop up everything. We're going to pop everything up. You want to make sure that your hair is clean prior to doing this, okay? So if we go against the grain and we see some dandruff and flakes, go ahead and wash the hair out and then do this again, because you want to make sure your hair has been cleaned already. Like I washed over the weekend, so my hair is clean. So we're getting ready to make it dirty again by putting this banana in it. So you want to make sure that your hair is as clean as possible before you put dried fruit in it, okay? Because the fruit is, you know, it's gonna create some flakes to your hair anyway. So we don't want to have dandruff on top of flakes, because we don't want to have to put this stuff in our hair and wash it out. Okay, that's gonna completely take away from what we're doing this for, and that's for a healthier scalp, healthier hair. So if we're having, you know, some bald spots, if you're trying to do that swirl, and you know you're just having problems with spots of our hair, you know, we need to look more towards scalp nutrition. So this is what's going to help with having a healthy scalp and fixing up those missing spots right there. Okay, the first thing that you want to do, always start with the crown. You guys know, yeah, I broke another mirror. I'm just so strong. I don't know my own strength. I keep breaking these mirrors, you know. Anyway, you want to start with the crown, okay? You want to mash that on in there, just like that. Just mash it on in there, you know. Kind of want to use a stick. Wherever you're having, you know, trouble spots, you just kind of want to mash it on in there, you know. If you're having a problem with our waves laying down on the sides, a lot of wavers been, man, I get waves everywhere, but just not to my size, man. Is there something that I can do about that? Yeah, we can just apply more product to the sides. And if you're going to apply more product to your hair, it's better that it be natural products. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you got the 360 wave builder. Yeah, keep doing the 360 wave builder. Keep doing all that stuff. But if you're having problem areas, just apply more product to those areas. But make sure that they're natural. Okay? That way, you know, you're not putting too much of the chemicals and stuff in your hair. And then, you know, a weak side turns into a bald side real fast. And you don't want that. I'd rather have a weak side than have a bald side. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put that on in there just like this. Should feel a little cold. You know, you want to make sure everything that you mix together gets put on your hair. Everything. Because once this is gone, it's gone. There is no keeping this stuff. You might as well throw this away with the rest of the fruit. So, however long your hair length is going to determine how much, you know, bananas you need. I don't need a lot. I just need about a half a banana. So it's all good, you know. Depending on your wolf status or, you know, where you're at in this stage, you know, you might need more depending on how curly your hair is. So that's another problem area right there. This really helps with the crown work and getting stubborn hair just to flow a little bit better without, you know, chemicals. Because this looks harsh, but everything that I'm putting in my hair is natural. This is all natural. Okay? So, you know, you can't more is better if it's natural. Unnatural products, more is not always better. You know, you can't. I know, you know, putting in the kit made your head look really good that week, but you can't keep putting kits in your hair every single week because that's going to lead to a damaging scalp. Trust me. Okay, so we're almost done with this. Putting this on in there. Ew. Gross. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be a little messy. You know what I mean? But it's all good. You know, you're gonna come back and clean up later. Okay, next thing that you want to do is that you want to take a wide grip comb. You want to get kind of a big grip. I like to use one of these, you know, little wide grips. I don't know where they at, but you can get them at Dollar General, Walmart, and stuff. So you want to comb all that all the way around. You kind of want to go against the grain, with the grain. It's going to be flopping everywhere. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that every piece of scalp is feeling some banana or oil. Okay. We got it to our problem areas. We want to make sure that we get it everywhere else around, though, too. Okay. This is the banana oil trick. It really creates softer hair. So if you have coarse hair, if you have coarse hair, and we don't want to use kits for softer hair, you're watching the right video. Now they have some products that can help do the same thing. They can, but in my experience, nothing beats natural. Nothing really beats that natural look. Especially if you've been trying these unnatural products for a couple of months or how long you've been waving. Just try to go back to some natural and you really get a different look to your hair. Yeah. It's kind of like when you use grease and then you stop using grease. Your hair looks different. You know. maybe for better or for worse, but it looks a little different. So, you know, using non-chemicals and natural products for our hair is going to make your hair look different for the better, because it's obviously going to look healthier. Then when you go back to using that pomade and stuff like that, you know, you notice that your hair lays down a little bit better because it's trained better, because it's more healthier. The healthier your hair is, the better it's going to react to different supplements and stuff. The hair goes with the body. If you're a fat person, if you're fat and you start taking steroids, we're only going to see you get fatter, because you were already fat in the first place. Now, you're going to get stronger, but you're still going to be primarily fat. Now, if you're already in shape, if we're already ripped up and cut and lean naturally all by ourselves, and then we start taking steroids, well, not only do you look bigger, but you look better, because you were already in shape to begin with. Same thing goes with the hair. If your hair is damaged and messed up, and then you just try putting wave grease and different kits in your hair and wearing a wave cap and brushing in 30 minutes, it's not going to look as good as it would have been if you had just did that naturally and saved the grease and the kits and the perms and all that stuff for later on use. Remember, Walker said that. There's no shortcuts to it, guys and gals. There's some tricks to the game, but there's no shortcut to it. All the titles that I put on my Instagram, I'll make sure if you're not following my Instagram, follow my Instagram at Walker's Waves. All the titles that I put on Instagram is brush work, crown work, bag work. There was no title that I ever put on my Instagram that said anything about kit work, chemical work. That stuff doesn't work. It just helps, but that's not really what's going to work. And it might not even help. Might make things worse. So make sure that you're prepared to do that kind of stuff. That's why you don't take steroids before you train or been working out all by yourself for a couple of years, you know. You just don't do that. You can make things worse. Instead of training naturally for 5 years, you train 1 year on steroids, you have a heart attack, you're dead. Think like that. The hair goes with the body. You start brushing your hair really good for a whole year, and then boom, you swirl and you got waves. You get into the wave game for 6 months, you use the kit, boom, you got a bald spot. Okay, now that all that's up in, all that's meshed around in, next thing that you want to do is that you want to get you one of them big old brushes. And I don't have mine on me right now. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's why I'm not getting no viewers on YouTube. Walker, man, you need to get it together, man. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to a hard brush right here. We're just going to mush everything down again, you know. You're going to make a mess. You know, it's going to be a mess. That's why the kits and the supplements, you know, they sell because they don't leave a mess. You know, you just dip your fingers in it and you put it in your hair and everything's good to go. You know, they took the work out of it to sell it like that. Okay, now you're putting in your own work or making your own hair supplements. So, you know, it's going to be a little messy, you know, but don't worry, don't sweat it, you know. You're saving money, you know, so, you know, you're saving time from going to the store and buying the products. You're just using old fruit that you're not using anymore. So, you know, we should have time to clean up, though, a little bit, too. So, you know, it's no big deal. And the main thing is that you're doing something healthy for your hair and scalp. Don't want to work out? Just do something healthy for your hair and scalp. Put some fruit in your hair and brush your hair using your arms and shoulders. Do that for 30 to 45 minutes. There goes a workout right there. And you've added some nutrients to your hair and scalp. Give yourself a round of applause. Okay. Now, the hair should curl up a little bit. Now, I know I'm talking to my Corsair wavers here specifically. I know when our hair starts to, get a little wet, it kind of over curls. Once you start to see your hair start to over curling, it's time to stop brushing. Okay? Because the hair is, let me try to explain. The hair is too wet to lay down because our hair is naturally curly. So we're past the H2O level of brushness. So basically what I'm saying is that, you brush your hair in the shower. If you're shampooing your hair, it becomes detrimental to your hair and scalp if you're not brushing your hair anymore because your hair is over curled, which means that every time you brush, you're missing your hair strands and the brush is just touching your scalp. Now, when you brush your hair, you do not want to brush your scalp. What you want to do is that you want to brush as deep as possible to touch the hairs that are touching that scalp. So if the hairs are already over curling, they're out the way, and this is nothing but touching the scalp, then we need to stop the brushing because the hair is over curled. It's out of the way. We need to wait for it to dry and lay back down so we can get this to connect to the brush, not the scalp. That's where you end up with male pattern baldness. Because we've been brushing so much, or we're just irritating the scalp so much. Wearing a lot of hats will take away from your hairline. So, it goes back because the hairline can't breathe if you wear hats all the time. This can't breathe if you wear, caps up all the time. So you're going to have problems to those areas. If you want to have long, healthy, lasting hair in your 30s and 40s, pay attention to your scalp and your hair. If your hair starts to over curl, that means that we're done brushing right now because the hair protects our scalp. You need that protection. Okay? Once we lose our hair, our scalp is vulnerable. Okay? Brandon, it's a lot of science to it, huh? Yeah, it kind of is. You can really go to school and get a master's degree on the hair just like you can up on the body. It's the same thing. A lot of people are wanting their hair back and they want to know why they're losing their hair and what to do to prevent that. Okay? So if you still have your hair right now and you have no pattern baldness going on, salute. You want to stay like that for as long as possible. So you're watching the right video. Banana does the hair good. It ain't gonna do it no good if you throw it away. So I'm showing y'all what to do with your old dried up fruits. Put them in your hair. Okay, and once we go and brush this down, we got it pretty much brushed down. We're starting to get some over curls. See that right there? See, it's over curling. So that means that it's time to go ahead and rag up and work out so everything, sweats and dries, packed up. And then once you come back from the session after, 2 or 3 hours, or however long you want to keep it ragged up for, then you take the rag off. You're going to do this exactly the same thing. You're going to comb, brush. I guarantee you, livelier, healthier, silkier hair. No grease, no nothing in it. Well, hope y'all liked it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment. You know what I mean? Make sure if you're not following my Instagram page, go ahead and follow me down there at Walker's Waves. Put up a lot of different content, funny stuff, video games, whatever Walker can be thinking of. Make sure that you y'all keep the brushes moving. Whatever you do today, try to do better than you did yesterday. And remember, you can do it. Walker knows the way.